If for whatever reason you didn't know, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero and I love talking about it. One thing I don't necessarily like talking about in relation to the character though is whenever he gets beat up. So I'm gonna humble myself here and talk about that today, but you gotta give me this. We're gonna circle back to the point where he locked in and got his get back. In order to cover this, we are going to be tackling the iteration from your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that aired on Disney Plus earlier this year. So if you didn't see it, full spoiler warning, you're about to get smacked up in the face with all sorts of spoilers. If you ever plan on watching it, why haven't you seen it yet? So if you weren't aware, Scorpion is one of the primary antagonists of the show. He's not the main one, but he is a force to be reckoned with within the series, specifically when it comes to physical fights. The show was all peachy keen, lighthearted, and fun all the way up to the point to where Scorpion was introduced, and we got to see blood being drawn for the first time in the show, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the first time. Scorpion came in with the business. Spider-Man is my GOAT, but I was a little doubtful. I don't think he had what it took to win this fight, and sure enough, I was right on that. Oh, it was pitiful. Oh, it was rough to watch, I'm not gonna lie. Seeing your GOAT just get absolutely bodied like that, and don't get me wrong, I'm used to it as a Spider-Man fan. Recently, it seems like media just wants him to get slapped left and right. He's getting trashed on in Marvel Rivals all the time. That Tokon Fighting Souls, I think it's Fighting Souls. Anyway, the new Marvel Dragon Ball Fighters looking game, whatever it is, in that trailer, he was getting tossed around left and right. Why are y'all doing this to Spidey? He's strong, like he can fight. Like, can I see him do some cool stuff? I'm joking, it's not that deep. I just think it's a little chuckle worthy. I'm sorry, but you can't convince me that your timbers were not shivered watching that scene. I don't think I've ever seen in an animated series somebody put straight hands on Spider-Man like that. Like, what? No remorse. Not caring that this dude was squealing and screaming like a little kid. He didn't care. He wanted to draw blood. He wanted him out of there, bro. He did not give two craps about this kid screaming for his life. He wanted him gone. Scorpion might be the realest villain Spider-Man's ever faced in all animated media. I might be a little crazy for saying that. I don't know. You can fight me on it, but who had Spider-Man crying like that? Please give me another example. There could be one out there and I'm just blanking on it. I'm actually asking right now. It took the Green Goblin of all people, to bail Spider-Man out of that Scorpion fight. Scorpion's an absolute menace. It's written in stone. You can't take that away from him. Remember the days of 90s Spider-Man standing on business against Shocker and all them? Scorpion was in the same class. Now you mean to tell me he's gonna pummel Spider-Man into the ground? No, we can't have that. Which is exactly why I'm happy Peter Parker, he knows how to dust that off and keep on pushing. That's my GOAT right there. Nobody's beating Spider-Man. Look, he locked in for that finale. He got himself some new drip, the red and blue, the classic, and took it to the streets. Like a real gangster. For all of New York to watch. The fight started off, you know, like your typical Spider-Man fight. He's cracking quips here and there, being all acrobatic and all that kind of stuff. But he eventually hit a tipping point where he, and when I say he, I'm talking about Scorpion, ended up attacking Lonnie, who's a close friend of Peter, in this iteration. Yeah, so I'm having trouble coming up with the wording to describe the state that Spider-Man went into. The only other way I can think to explain it is that Spider-Man in that moment unlocked a new superpower. That superpower we're gonna call Demon Time. Forget pizza time, it's Demon Time right now. When I tell you this boy rolled up with the cleanest walk, like I squinted, he locked in, was looking at Scorpion, and was doing the web shot, weave, web shot. He was weave, web shot. Like he did not care. And then he even took back the same technique that Scorpion did to him, straight hands. Just pummeling him. Again, it's Robert Pattinson Batman, except with the strength of Spider-Man, the way he was pummeling him straight into the ground. Even the citizens of New York and everybody involved in that fight had to pause for a moment, just in sheer and utter awe of how unfriendly the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man looked in that moment. Do you know how insane that is? Like, think about that for a second. Like, I've heard the same sentiment echoed multiple times before. You don't want to fight Spider-Man when he's going by Peter Parker, dressed as Peter Parker, and is not cracking any jokes. You don't want to fight him when he's in the black suit and completely silent, and you don't want to fight Batman when he's smiling. I think we've unlocked a new tier where you don't want to fight red and blue Spider-Man when he's not cracking jokes, has the eyes squinted, and can weave every single action without doing the crazy flips and stuff. No, he's just walking at you and hitting one of these. You don't want that, which completely unlocked a part of my brain that realized your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man had this scary of a scene where he went out of control, and he hasn't even had the symbiote yet. Same thing is said about Tom Holland. Remember how crazy he went in No Way Home without even having the black suit? I am going to be terrified of these two whenever they decide to go through their Venom arc, okay? Keep me far away from that. I don't even want to find out. So this is a message out there. If you're part of Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery, you're cooked, buddy. Run to the nearest hotel, book your flight for the next day, and get as far away as possible from New York. I don't know, I'm low-key rooting rooting for you. Nobody deserves to be humiliated that badly. Spider-Man's scary, man. I don't care what y'all say. He's my goat, though. He's still my goat. Scorpion didn't get the memo that you don't mess with Spider-Man's close friends and family. Like, that's a big no-go. I mean, you can do it if you want to get your face caved in. That's a great method of making that happen. I'll be completely honest. But the cherry on top is that this Peter Parker in particular was influenced by Norman Osborn. So he's kind of going off those teachings. With great power comes great respect and not responsibility. So yeah, if you're gonna mess with 616 Spider-Man, who had the teachings of Uncle Ben, and he's still gonna cave your face in, what do you think the one that was trained by Norman Osborn is gonna do to you? I'm not trying to find that out. I'm gonna be so for real. Look, I know I'm talking about how scary Spider-Man is in this state, but that's the toxic side about being a Spider-Man fan. You're low-key gonna root for bro when he does anything, even if it's this like unethical. Like, it's just so fire to see Spider-Man put the work in. You know what I mean? Like, you just use his straight hands and weave it like, come on. Tell me that's not the coolest thing ever. You're lying if you say it's not. I'm calling your bluff right now.